Alright, you guys, I am back home from Atlanta and it's time for me to get back to work. So let's talk about Iyanla. Alright, you guys, it's me, your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another review on Iyanla Fix My Life, Season 7, Episode 2, and we're here to talk about Christy and Demetrius, okay? Now, apparently Christy has like 3 kids, and I think she got like 2 or 3 grandkids, or something along the lines of that. And basically, she has all of her kids living in the house with her, and her husband are now at their wits' end, and they just don't know what they can do about everything that's been going on with the kids. And people been, the kids have been sparring back and forth. There's been a lot of things going on, and she's just trying to get to the bottom of said issue. In the midst of everybody sitting up there, the first person that actually reveals something worth mentioning is Christian. He reveals that there was damage amongst his family, and the damage comes from Christy. Christy was an absentee mother. I mean, she gave birth to her kids, but she left, and now that has caused a lot of things with the kids. Iyanla gives them all cards, and the cards pretty much represents where they are, how they feel, and all of that stuff. So that's pretty much the basis of that. So after she gives them the cards, she talks to Christy alone, and she talks about being a mother, and she reads her for filth about that, because Iyanla had 3 kids by the time she was 21. She had a baby at 16, she had a baby at 19, and she had a baby at 21. And she went to college when she was 29, and she graduated from law school in her 30s, and by the time she was 40, that's when she grew the hell up, because she had responsibilities from the very beginning, and she really never had a chance to really grow up. So she was basically, telling Christy about the things that she had to deal with being a parent. So she goes and talks to Amber, who was Christy's second born, her daughter, and she got 2 kids at the age of 21. There's some things that she wants to do in her life, but she really doesn't want to focus on those things. She wants to focus on her kids more so than the things that she wants to possess in her lifetime. But Iyanla said that's where most of the parents go wrong at. We always try to sit around and depend on what we can do for our kids, but never sit back and think about what we can do for ourselves. And that is the truth. After she talks to Amber, Christy has a revelation that she wants to put out there. And the revelation that she wants to put out there is that she was touched, but she didn't want to put it on camera. But Iyanla basically told her ass, listen, bitch, you don't get to sit up here and say what you will and won't do. Now, everybody else can sit up here and tell they pain, so bitch, you gonna sit up here and tell yours. Now, the fact is, you were touched, and it was by multiple sets of people. And it's like, that's where all your trauma comes from. And that's why you don't know how to be a mom, because of the trauma that you experienced in your life and you never spoke on it. When it comes down to Demetrius, he has a problem with standing up for himself. He's not an alpha male. He's more on the weak side. He's afraid of Christy's mouth, so there's a lot of things that he would like to say to Christy, but he doesn't do it because he's afraid of her mouth. And she wears the pants in the relationship pretty much. He does whatever the fuck she say do. So he really ain't got no say-so in nothing. Christian tells Christian tells Christy how he felt when she abandoned him. And he never understood why she would leave him, because that's his mom. I'm your child. Like, why would you leave me behind like that? You know what I'm saying? And to be quite honest, I've never been in a situation where my mother left me. I've never been in that type of predicament. But I do get what a person is saying. Like, I can fathom my mom leaving me behind, or my mom just abandoning me for her own selfish gain. Like, I could never see that. So when I see people talk about the fact that their moms abandon them and their moms push them to the side for some man, that shit really boggles me, and it really gets under my skin when that happens. But I'm glad that he was able to reveal that. But not only did he reveal that, how he felt when she ran away, he also talked about the abuse that she suffered from his brother's father, which is Christopher's biological father. He used to beat her. He was a drug dealer. He used to beat her ass. And he used to have to sit back and watch that. Now that's one thing I can relate to. My brother's father was abusive to my mom. My brother's father put hands on my mom. So I totally understand. I totally get it. And it is what it is. So I understand it wholeheartedly. So then Christopher reveals his childhood trauma. Him and Amber. They basically went through all the things that the kids in the hood ever went through. You know, there's abuse, there's drugs, there's jail, there's all of that stuff. And he talks about the abuse that his mother went through from his father putting his hands on her. And he's very nonchalant. Like, he's just sitting up there talking about it, like, no emotion. He's very nonchalant. So I think that he's pretty much removed from the situation, so to speak, because that's what it looks like to me. When Iyanla brings her to her brings Christy with her two sons, it's basically, she basically gets, you know, the notion about how they really feel about her and where they are with her and how they feel about the certain situation. And basically all the things that he looked to his mom for, he can look to his brother for. You know what I mean? Like, it's a situation where he thinks that drugs is in his future, jail is in his future, just based on the way his life is going. So he's basically at a crossroads in life, and he doesn't really have a sound foundation because his mother didn't give him one. But when it comes down to it, just like Iyanla said, you can always go to your brother for it. He's very stable, self-sufficient, and he got it going on to the point to where that's where your example should come from. Iyanla reads the hell out of that married couple, okay? Like, they're more so focused on themselves that they're not really trying to get their house in order. Christy wears the pants, but she said it was not by choice. That's just something that she did. He not trying to wear the pants, even though he's the man of the relationship. He's not really trying to do anything to put himself in a predicament where I wear these pants, I do this, I do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I run this house, I do this. And you don't really have to run shit to prove a point. But at the same time, it's a situation where, okay, my nigga, it's like, so what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? Like, are you gonna run this shit as like a man supposed to? Are you gonna be the one that holds this foundation together? Or are you just gonna be a penny pinching little bitch with a dress on that should be wearing pants on and, you know, working it out? Because she ain't respecting you. She don't show you no type of respect because she don't feel like you give her anything to respect. So being that you don't give her shit to respect, she not gonna respect you. That's just what it is. So when it comes down to everybody calling out their grievances with each person, Christopher calls out his grievances with Demetrius. And he basically tells Demetrius how he needs to treat his mom. But Iyanla said, as you're not a grown-ass man, so you can't tell him what he needs to do to satisfy your mom. You're not at that point to where you can do that because you're still a child, so you really can't tell nobody what they can and can't do and what they need to do. You need to focus on your own self, your own issues, because you have a lot of them. Amber calls out Christy about how she doesn't demand respect. It's like she doesn't feel like she needs to have respect because she's afraid of the outcome. And Christy basically reveals that because I don't want backlash from my kids, I'd rather be their friend instead of asking for respect. That was the first thing she could have done, was admit it, and she did. Demetrius calls out Christopher for being disrespectful to him and Christy. He feels like he doesn't show any respect to neither one of them. I believe it. Christy tells Christopher that she feels like he needs to be the man that she know that he can be and not the man that he thinks he has to be. And that's true. Like, you don't have to be a badass nigga to prove a point. Just be a real man, step up for your own responsibilities, do well in life, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to do all this extra shit. Christy encourages Amber to speak her mind and say what she needs to say and say how she feels. Because when she doesn't do that, she tends to... What word am I looking for? When she doesn't do that, she tends to burst. She doesn't say what she needs to say. She doesn't speak her piece. And I know exactly what that is because I do the same thing. When I'm feeling some type of way, I never talk about it. I sit on it and I sit on it and I sit on it and I sit on it until I combust. And that's not always the right thing to do. There wasn't really no grievances between Christian and Demetrius at all. It really wasn't. I think that he's on a good page with just about everybody, child. But all in all, this episode didn't give me anything. Like, it didn't give me nothing. Like, as you can see, this review ain't even that long, but this episode didn't even give me nothing. It didn't give me anything to work with because they weren't open. They really wasn't trying to be open. Like, it really wasn't nothing to really go by. Like, they wasn't open about nothing. Like, at all. So it really wasn't nothing to speak on. Like, I didn't feel anything. I didn't really feel no impact about nothing. It was just a filler episode to me. So it is what it is, y'all. But this is my review on this episode of Fix My Life. Be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to share this video, do whatever you see fit, and if you can, donate to the podcast fundraiser that Jamar set up for he and I's podcast. The link will be at the bottom. We're almost at our goal. We are doing so well right now. We're almost at our goal. So I'm really excited about that. So if you can donate for that one essential thing that we need to make the podcast be what it needs to be sure to do so, okay? With that being said, you guys, I have like 3 more videos to do because I've been gone for 4 days. And child, I got to get back to the get down, okay? I'm catching up, as you can see. With that being said, you guys, I'm out of here, y'all. To my next video. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.